Welcome to Guzzler.
Hello and welcome to the Guzzler podcast. I don't know, I always just pause because I always want to say, this is Alfie, this is Declan, this is me.
I'm having fun now.
Tomorrow's podcast.
This is episode 56.
It's episode 56. We're talking about living in a post-pandemic society.
Are we going to briefly talk about him going through?
Briefly,
Going through
the
what?
whole episode is him going for a chair.
Guzzler podcast.
First I want to say,
Brilliant.
at what point are we no longer in a pandemic?
My question was going to be, will life ever be the same? Which I guess is the same question.
Oh, I don't know if that's the same question.
Alright, ignore that.
No.
Ignore that. What's about that later?
They're very linked, aren't they?
I don't know, because I'd argue, well, there's part of me that goes, we're still obviously very much in a pandemic, because things are sort of getting worse, but at the same time we're living our lives normally now. Normally is what we could ever live our lives.
Did you see the measures they said they'd probably put in place for winter?
No.
They said they're probably going to bring back mandatory masks.
Right.
And it seems likely that a lot of workplaces where it's easily done will be work from home again during the winter. Which I think makes sense.
No,
I don't know
it
why
makes
they
sense.
got rid of mandatory masks anyway, because they're not hard.
No, exactly.
No.
Just do it.
And
wear.
I don't know why they got rid of home working either.
No. It's
It made
to
a
try
lot
and
of
keep
sense for a lot of reasons.
the high street alive.
But then there's this thing about like you don't
You don't need to work from home if you're in a high street shop.
if you come into contact with someone, you don't have to isolate either.
No, but people commuting to work, they would argue, is what keeps businesses alive on the high street.
I'd argue they've got to work if they're not shop if they're at work.
What?
They shop on their days off.
No, they
Not
shop on the way. No, but like, you get what I mean.
I get what you mean, yeah. But what was
It's not the conversation you wanted to have. I know, but like, it's what we get to next episode.
Yeah,
so.
well, I don't know. What was I saying?
You said when
that
we
you
got
don't,
the
you, no, you
pandemic.
don't have to track it. You don't have to isolate now if you come into contact with someone.
if you're double jabbed.
No, not at all.
I thought it was just if you don't
No,
know.
not at all. Schools don't have to send people home now if someone they've been in contact with is positive.
Oh yeah, September something in it.
Yeah, and I find that incredibly strange.
It's really dumb.
Yeah.
Really, I know, yeah, it's
Yeah.
really dumb.
Yeah.
What do you do about it? I'm double jabbed now.
Yeah.
You're double jabbed?
You double jabbed?
Next week, next Wednesday.
You are.
Is that-
So when yours comes out.
So we're all infertile.
And people. Oh, it really was.
Yeah.
And people would
when
say.
the law comes out, I'll be double jabbed.
Sorry, I was thinking of an inappropriate joke. People would say that if you've had COVID, the second jab's really bad for Pfizer.
Right.
That's fine, mate. I literally didn't experience.
Who wants to hear my jab stories?
I literally didn't experience a single thing. Nothing.
Well, both yours alright?
Yeah, Adam.
Oh, so your first one was your first one, right?
Yeah.
So my first.
My first one wasn't because I literally had coronavirus. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And to be fair, your first one was delayed.
Because
Because-
I had coronavirus.
Yeah. So my first one, I walked into the hospital. Me and my partner got split up from it, and then someone.
Oh, you always say virus.
I feel grown up. And then someone came through to me and said,
Your husband.
"Yeah, you what?" My civil partner says, "No, my lady friend." Someone came in and said, "Is there?" No, I just feel like a child when I say girlfriend, so I say partner now. Anyway, so
Why would a child say go?
I don't know, because children have girlfriends.
You say Mrs. Me and my missus.
My missus. I'm in a Richie film, my missus. So my lady friend.
Never do that.
She
Never ever do that
went
again.
through to another room, and this woman came out and said, "Is there a Louis about?" And I knew straight away that my girlfriend was terrified of getting this jab. And there's a bit of me that thought, just don't put your hand up. Just don't do it. But I did because I'm a very nice young chap.
Terrified
so
of what? I don't understand.
I'm not sure. And I'll be honest, I hate injection needles, but this time I was chill. I was fine. Someone kept telling me I was absolutely fine. So I went through and she was really upset and she got the needle and I thought, excellent, fine. I was like, well, and I made a joke and I thought, well, I've got to act fine now because she said, and they went in, it was fine, didn't feel it at all. But I think without realising, I'd built up a lot of adrenaline inside of me, and then afterwards I was a bit like, ooh, could be a bit hot. Yeah. I think I'll be sick. So they laid me on a bed, almost passed. They laid me on a bed. Then I was fine a few minutes later. Now the second jab, the woman actually, it felt like she put it in me and then sort of dragged it down my arm a bit more. So much so that when she took it out, she went, I've just given you 2 holes. Right? She said, I've given you 2 holes. And I almost hit the stupid woman in the face because it actually hurt, like, incredibly. It felt like she got it in, then went like that. I was like, that really hurt. She was like, okay. I was like, no! Oh, that hurts so much. And we went to sit down in the rest of the people in this converted Summerfields. And I was just sitting there and I could just feel, it was a nice Summerfields on Wisbech. I could just, before then.
Was it?
Yeah. And I could feel beads of sweat coming out of my face. Like it was like really awful. And I was sitting there and I was going, just act calm. And I turned to Tash and she was like, and I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, you look awful. And I was like, I feel it. And then this woman was like, if anyone wants to put their hand up if they don't feel very well. And I was like, I'm not even joking. And I was like, and then she came over to me and she immediately did this. She put her hand on my back and then went, oh my God. And I was like, ah! And then she put me in a wheelchair and then wheels me away as I was just there. Like, and then someone else put their hand on my back and also said the same thing. And then they laid me in this bed and was just like, I felt like a hamster. They were just like pouring liquid into my mouth. And then it was after that because they gave me some biscuits and some sweets. And but
God,
for a long while, they was like, you really wear like you're like not even white, you're grey. But that time I know why, because the stupid bitch hurt me.
What percentage of people do you think they have to do that for? Genuine question. Like how many people does that happen to? Do you think?
Well, I was
like it's probably not many, is it?
Because Tash said, she was like, have you got somewhere to lay down? And the woman who actually came in the wheelchair, she went,
So it's definitely not that often, is it?
But I felt like I'd probably been like
did they find you in bed or did they?
No, they got me in bed.
How long were you in there?
But I was sorry, about 35 minutes. I was on a long while. There was a bit of me that thought they were going to just lay me down in the middle of all these people. I felt like I'd been injected with Novichok. I was ready to die. I was at the back, luckily. If I was at the front,
I reckon there's people. They have a story now, don't they?
Yeah. I kept saying to the woman after. I was like, I'm really sorry. I was really sorry.
And she was still tears streaming from her face.
I've never actually felt worse than that in my life. I've never felt worse. I could feel the beads of sweat actually rising to the surface.
So are you looking forward to the booster jabs then?
She even said to me on the way out, she was like, she even said, she was at Mick, but she went, they'll be in touch with your booster jabs. And if I could actually move my limbs, I'd have hit her. But I couldn't. So, you know.
Reasonable force.
That was mine.
Reasonable force.
So anyway, as I was saying, when does Boris come on the news and go, we're not in a pandemic?
He has.
He says we're not in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Ages ago.
No, I didn't know.
It was then like July.
So why is he now saying we're in a pandemic again?
But are we?
No, he said
just in like
the potential for a pandemic has arisen.
I just think that you can't keep classifying it as a pandemic because this is as normal as it's going to get, right?
Oh, you can't get more normal.
No, I think it will get a little bit.
There's
better.
no restrictions now, are there?
No, but in terms of people still getting it at the rate that they're getting it.
There's like 240 deaths a day still.
Which is still quite high.
Oh, incredibly high.
But like,
we went into the first lockdown at 30.
I don't know if we're in a pandemic still.
What would you call it then? If it's still this high death rate. If the death rate is still this high and this many people are still getting it.
We was in a pandemic of 30 deaths. Now we've got 240 deaths. The thing's on the rise. It's on the rise, and I find it weird. Like, how's the jab working then if it's on the rise?
What was the most
if
deaths
that many people are dying?
we ever had?
Like 1,800, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's still way lower than that. And people are mingling fully again.
Yeah,
there's no restrictions.
Yeah,
it's still better. The vaccine doesn't make things
go away.
Perfect. It just makes it.
Maybe it will just as people keep mingling, it will just kind of subside.
It's going to be like the flu, isn't it? We just have to live with
it. Because it's not only just the fact that people are getting it; it's that there's so many variants, and
the Mu variant. You seen that one?
The what?
Mu variant.
No.
You seen that one?
As in like the Greek.
It'll come at you, mate. And you worry. Yeah, like Mu.
But there's so many different variants. I think now that people are vaccinated, and the majority of people who are vaccinated won't die from this virus anymore. They will just get it. And
Yeah.
the ones that are dying now are just
I
elderly.
almost died from the jab.
Not even the. You shouldn't say that on a podcast, Louis, because the anti-vaxxers
they're going
will
to
take
flag
that.
us as anti-vaxxers.
So I
They'll
almost
take that. They'll love
died.
Us here at Guzzler are
From the
very
needle.
pro-vaccination.
I'll be honest.
Because I'm a scientist.
The jabber was the one who almost killed me.
I can't.
What?
The needle almost killed you,
I
not
said
the
the heart.
vaccine.
The jabber, the woman.
The heart. Oh.
Right.
The woman.
But what I'm
I
saying
don't think
is,
she did.
as we,
She had
because
2 holes. Try being a woman.
I compare it to like freshers flu. We didn't interact with anyone for 18 months, and then there was loads of people, loads of different viruses that none of us had really come into contact with, and then all of a sudden we've started mingling again. So it's going to take some time for a lot of people to sort of test positive, maybe some to die, but a lot. This is what Boris said. At the start of the- This is what Boris said.
You
at the
know,
start.
mate, if you throw that sort of
But
nonchalance around.
this is how Boris proposed it, and I guess he's kind of got his wish as he did at the start, because some people are going to die now between now and probably next Easter.
Hope
From coronavirus.
so. Different then.
But it will give all the variants a chance just to sort of fizzle out.
Yeah,
They're not going to fizzle out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck,
but
get the bearings.
But no, but like with booster jabs and people, it's like
Yeah,
immunology
no,
increasing,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's not
Well,
gonna
I'm immune, so I've had it.
because you've had it.
I won. I'll be
So-
honest. I was on the ropes. it took me within an inch of my life, but
the last few
I had it.
podcasts, something stuck Alfie for the inch of his life.
I told you I had the Zeta strain. It was
Yeah, no.
more dangerous than all the others combined. Actually.
Combined?
Yeah.
You'll
It's
have
like,
that.
it's like COVID on steroids, is what I've been told.
It's COVID and cholesterol.
Yeah.
My that's what my clairvoyant tells me.
Yeah.
Don't talk about clairvoyance, he'll get horny.
So, I used to go to school with her. Clairvoyance. So, what,
No, you didn't.
so the... Yeah, so the world is... What I would say about...
Round.
No, not the world. Our,
When is
it's
the
flat.
world going to be vaccinated?
I don't know. Quite a long way. Like some places are still like Australia. Australia gets one case and they're like, nope.
Well, when in England we're back to normal then.
Economists.
Well, I feel like we are back to normal.
We're not.
No. People are wearing masks,
We're
like
not.
back to like how they were.
Oh, 2040.
I don't think things ever
No,
will
I don't
be
think-
how they were.
Economists predict that.
Economists.
That's him. They predicted that 2023, 2024 is when we'll start spending the ways in which we used to, in terms of like
So I suppose that's
clubbing
different,
and
yeah.
going out.
But like, I don't mean this selfishly, but my life feels back to normal. Like, last year I just come back from a massive festival that I did not think I'd get to go to at all.
But that felt very weird.
We didn't tell you, mate, because we don't need to fall for any extra chairs. It's costly when we go with you.
I was at Leeds.
Use at Leeds. That's disgusting.
You're a disgrace. I was asleep.
Yeah, it was. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, we were at a festival, but it felt very, very weird.
It felt weird, but I think it felt weird because I hadn't been anywhere all
I don't
summer.
know. I think it only felt weird when I thought about it.
Yeah.
When it
And I
occurred
forget.
to me.
But
I would
I
forget.
thought
I'll be
about
there
it
at
a
some
lot.
I think I
point.
forgot loads of
I'll be at some point at the
I
festival and I go, bloody hell, it's just COVID.
Like we were having fun. So when you're having fun, you forget. You know.
Right. But to me, I reckon it'll be over when we kind of forget completely that there was, like, we'll always have the memory of the pandemic, but
What do
that
you think,
feeling
really?
of being in a lot of people and going, what the f*** is going on? Like when you got hit with a mosh pit and you're getting shoved about by like 1,000 people, I was like, I ain't had this in a while.
Yeah.
This was a regular occurrence.
Yeah. I'd be at some points on the festival and I'd sort of go, well, I mean, this is COVID. And I'd find that
Yeah.
weird. But then I'd just forget about it and then I'd just be like, yeah.
Like,
And it would just be, I felt it actually quite exhilarating in the fact that sort of had been kept inside and been kept away in what felt like a dystopian world, and then suddenly we had this thing to sort of mark, like we kept saying about the fact that Reading was the thing that was sort of like, would we go to Reading? We got to Reading, and it sort of felt like a sort of milestone. It felt like, it doesn't feel like we're in a pandemic. It feels like we can actually do this big thing. It felt exhilarating, and a lot of artists and bands who came on were like, we're here.
I haven't heard much about Reading, like the aftermath.
Because Boardmaster's got like 7,000 cases.
Thing.
And then you shut Cornwall.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But after Reading, I haven't really read anything about the aftermath. No. I haven't heard. I read that cases around Reading have gone up a bit.
Yeah.
But in line with, like, cases everywhere have gone up a bit.
But like, we all tested negative when we left.
Yeah, we did.
I tested negative when I left.
There was the thing that we found someone had found a positive lateral flow test at somewhere in Reading.
Yeah, my girlfriend's sister's tent.
Yeah.
I didn't find that worrying because obviously someone that has it.
But
I mean, like,
it was a bit like, it was quite Schrodinger though. Like, we knew that people had it, but as soon as you saw
that was like confirmation.
Yeah, you saw some of the tests and we sort of went, well, that's it.
Yeah, but like, someone there, it was obvious that not everyone there was negative, wasn't it? To be honest.
But like, I think that they sort of done it the right way. They got people to test, and then there must have been some people out there who tested before they went, saw they were positive and went,
got a picture of a negative.
There must be. I agree. Most people would have done that, but there must be some people who went, fair enough, I can't go because I'm positive. There must have been some people out there who done that.
Were they giving
at least one, like someone?
Yeah, someone who done that.
Were they giving refunds if you tested positive on the day?
Oh, I don't know actually.
I don't think so.
Not sure.
Because surely that would have enticed people.
To be honest.
Well,
so
if I was spent 250 quid and then went, no, you can't have it back. Sorry. Like even like if you've been really cautious.
Yeah.
Because we were quite cautious on the lead up.
Yeah.
Like the month before, if you'd got there. And it might have had COVID on a fucking soup can that you picked up at Tesco.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got it, and they went, yeah, you can't have your money back.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, actually, no bollocks, I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to I'm going to get my mate to take a test, show the negative picture, and then
just go in.
And just go in.
Yeah. But also they're doing the vaccines actually at the festival, and like an NHS fan. And Declan McKenna at Leeds said that he was going to go get his vaccine then, and asked if he could skip the queue. And I think I might be wrong. I think he announced on stage he was going to go get it, and a lot of people thought, I'll get it. Apparently on the Sunday it was incredibly busy because people were getting their.
I found out I wouldn't be able to get it because I went to get my second dose shortly after, because on the little information sheet from Pfizer it says minimum 21 days, and I assumed that brilliant, after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Whatever, if you went to a walk-in centre, even if it was outside your appointment, they'd just go, yeah, it's safe, you can have it if you want it, and you're double jabbed. If you need it and you want to go abroad or something, take it. And he went, no, you've got to wait 8 weeks. And I was like, really? Why? It's safe to take after 3. I want to be, you're trying to entice people to get double jabbed. Why would you not let them, do you know what I mean?
So,
and I mean, they did a thing on Sky News, sorry.
That's fine.
Where Israel and us, pricks, they were also giving youths Pfizer, the sort of take our stance, but they were doing the second jab on week 4, not week 8. The effectiveness of the Pfizer jab on week 4 of second vaccination was only 43%. At week 8 it was 88% or something really, really high. And they think the key difference was the extra 4 weeks. They were saying how the key difference is length of time between vaccinations. So that could play a part.
It could.
There's a thing with Reading where they said that Reading didn't follow the advice of like the government and the council as well. But went ahead anyway. But they recommended that. It's because the things they recommended, that these people clearly have never been to a festival. They recommended social distancing was maintained in sort of busy areas, so like queues and stuff.
Yeah, the entire
people kept 2 metres apart.
Yeah, our tent wasn't 2 metres apart.
Which would be impossible.
Yes.
And they recommended that people wear masks in crowded areas, even though it was outdoors.
Way too hot.
Because of how crowded it was, which would just never.
If you're jumping about,
that wasn't.
At night time I must wear a mask. Keep warm.
We weren't that cold this year.
No,
Weren't you?
but like the walk,
'Cause I was.
walk back to the tent was very, very cold.
Yeah, and you did it hours before us.
Only on the
At some
only
point-
on the Sunday.
Only on the
we
Fridays.
didn't, there was not a single night we walked back to the tent with you.
A single one.
None of them. We didn't walk back to you to the tent on any
First
of the
night was Stormzy,
Mm.
and I went somewhere else before I went back to the tent.
Sign disco.
No, that was Saturday.
Okay, I don't know where else went. It was left then.
Saturday, I went back. I came back about 2:00 in the morning, and I was shaking. It was very, very cold. And then Sunday, I went back
early.
early.
It was about 12:30.
I think it was about half 12.
It weren't.
No, honestly, it was
Because
about
I clocked in at the silent disco at 1, so it must have been after
It
that.
must have been about half 1 then.
Hell, it might have been. But I
about
remember
half
seeing
I
1.
went to sleep at 1:30. You were asleep.
Yeah, you think age one. I was about half 12.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, right. Funny story. You're going to tell it. Alfie.
What, falling through?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
It wasn't 2, it's 4.
I fell through one chair.
4 chairs.
Okay. So,
one chair.
No.
I broke one chair.
let's take
and
us
then I
back.
fixed the
Denial.
chair.
Shut up.
No, I fell through the chair, then I fixed the chair, and then...
You broke 3 more
No,
times.
no. It broke once.
No, I didn't.
Let's take it back. Can we do one of them graphics for a second?
No, because I made it in it. No, this is in it.
Read in 2019.
Oh, proper long back.
Yeah, really long back. We set up our tent after an arduous morning.
We had an arduous morning. You sat in a chair.
After an arduous morning getting to Reading, setting up the tent, we finally sat down for some beers.
You did. Go on.
After the tent had been set up,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
I was there.
And we were sitting outside our porch because, you know, we had a Tory tent. And there was a wasp buzzing around us. Who would quite generously called Fat to our neighbours, went, I've never been stung by a wasp before.
Did you?
And about, what did you say, 25 minutes later?
Yeah.
20 minutes later?
Oh,
all
it's
you hear is,
meaningless, isn't it?
ow! He's stung by a
it's
wasp
a bit
on his arm.
Bit more
It left its
like,
guts
I did
in
more
you.
pain than
Yeah.
that.
And
You're
About-
right.
about 3
Like,
minutes
it's
later, about 3 minutes later, I still hadn't wiped the tears from my eyes. And he went through.
Nah,
his
it's like
camp-
immediate.
I think it was like
literally
almost immediate, yeah.
Alright, so immediately afterwards, he went through his camping chair.
There was no chair though.
And it happened twice more?
No, it happened once more. So he
Oh, sorry,
brought
there's
two
3
chairs.
there's 3 chairs
He
overall.
brought 2
Yeah,
chairs.
yeah.
So he.
No, you broke one chair this year. So
I don't believe it.
He,
I don't
no,
believe it.
it was quick this year.
He
though,
threw the
wasn't
chair out, and we stayed in White Camp, and there was a camp in. You can come find us next Reading if you'd like, fans. There was a camp installed just about 20 metres away, so we went and brought another one. He went through that as well. Went through that as well, and then went and brought another one, and he didn't go through that, but he lost it, and he didn't have it this year. So I graciously spent 30 quid on camping chairs for us two this year, and then what was it, day 2?
Nah, was it day 2?
I think it was day 2. He goes through the arm.
Then he fixes it.
Yeah, and you tape it up. He didn't fix it.
Nah.
I did fix it.
No, you didn't.
I used it for like another day.
If they taped a submarine up, you wouldn't say that's fixed.
They
You'd
managed to
say
use it for another day. They fixed it, didn't they? No, hang on. When it was a fully functioning chair that I'd paid good money for, I only managed to use it for about 2 hours. When I taped it up, I used it for a day. So I didn't fix it, actually. You're right. I improved it.
Anyway, the following day, he goes and leans forward to pick up our body glitter, and it just collapses.
And he takes it back up again.
So no,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even tape it up. I just sort of
sat in it.
hooked it.
Yeah.
That's 2 chairs, mate.
But yeah,
One chair.
No.
That's
One
chair.
chair.
No, I don't believe it.
But however,
Thanks.
so gracefully, the chair fairy had left us a chair.
Yeah,
outside.
Someone actually left us a chair because they felt bad for us.
That's
Yeah,
not
it was-
why.
That is 100% why.
It was the chair.
I'll tell you,
fairy.
it's not for us. For
We
him.
stole a chair.
It was the chair.
Don't
fairy.
make it sound like someone felt bad for
They put it in front
And
of
your
our
girlfriend
tent.
is a thief and she stole a chair. She got sticky fingers and she stole a chair.
And then you went through that one as well, didn't you? Not?
I didn't fall through that one.
Yeah,
I
no.
just broke the arm.
You
No,
were
that's when the
talking.
legs fell off that and you fell into the ground.
I just broke
That is
the
what
arm.
happened.
No.
Oh, I clearly remember you falling off onto your knees in that one.
No, I broke the
No,
arm.
he did just break down.
No, I distinctly remember, and we'll cut
You
this
were
bit out.
drunk.
We'll cut this bit out, okay? Right, but I distinctly remember you saying, when Fran said, "What did your dad do?" You said heroin, and then the front legs fell off your chair, and you fell to the ground.
No, that
Because
was-
Karma's a bitch.
That was the chair before.
That was the chair before.
So Alfie was
Oh, yeah.
telling us a quite satirical, sad story, and then he just went through the arm. So that's 4 chairs and 2 festivals. Can we have a little scoreboard? Alfie 2, Alfie 4, festivals 2.
You know you have a problem when you go into a festival and you're working out how much money you're going to spend. And you know, you're like, oh, food, this, and you're like, chairs.
You budget chairs into
Yeah,
it, yeah.
You know something's not right.
You budget chairs into the plan. So, what do we think about masks? You said, but are you less comfortable going in shops now without masks on?
Yeah.
I'm
Laziness.
comfortable. I'm comfortable going in. If I haven't got one on me, I'm not bothered. But if I've got it on, I'll put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I don't wear a mask at work anymore.
I think
I
the
don't.
I don't know where I keep it. I think the distinction was.
I have it in my pocket
Yeah, I sometimes have.
because I feel like if
Oh, I never have it at work.
if a customer came in and wanted like me
I
to
never
wear
have it at
one
work.
when serving,
Oh, that cough was dry.
No, I think the weird thing was on the way to Reading, we
cough.
wore masks in McDonald's,
yeah,
and then we sort of realised we was with 100,000 people the whole
Yeah.
weekend, and then didn't wear them on the way back.
yeah.
And it was at that point I went,
I had a mask in my ket bag.
"Did you?"
Yeah, the whole festival.
Mm.
Yeah, it got soaked because the
Yeah.
bottles get pissing over.
Yeah.
The bottles this year were not. Tesco, if you're watching, you
Sort your festival
Sort your
bottles
bottles
out, you prick.
What do you think's happened with travel? Because obviously there's a lot of places still on the. That's the only thing that sort of is still sort of affected, I suppose. A lot of places still on the amber or red list.
But they've said they're going to remove that idea completely. Haven't
Are
they? Yeah, because they're going to get rid of vaccine passports, and there's no real point after that 'cause it's stupid.
Because from Hong Kong you've got to isolate for something like 28 days or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm going. When this comes out, it'll be probably 2 weeks' time.
Mm.
When I'm going abroad, I'm going on a cruise
Right.
to Spain and Italy.
Right.
So I'm
With your partner?
no.
Okay.
Just just as a holiday, and it's going to be my first holiday since
you're in.
May 2019. No, I'm not going on my own. It's not a singles cruise. Yeah, so I'm really quite intrigued to see how that's all going to work out and the testing on the
But like,
planes
it's
and-
cruise.
I remember when the pandemic first started and they were docking cruises and basically people weren't allowed off the cruises and it was like they couldn't get food to certain cruises and people were like stuck in their rooms for like days.
Because I was meant to go
weeks.
on one in the end of May, but just gone, but they cancelled it at the start of May, so everything's been.
Have you ever done a cruise?
No.
I was slightly off. A cruise never really took to my fancy.
No, I don't think so.
But if you get drinks package, everything's on the boat. It's all contained.
Oh, fair enough. I'm there. No, but it's never took my fancy. So when I was
What if you
drunk,
don't get drinks paid? You got to go to shore to get things.
yeah,
You're not given things.
Yeah, there's like restaurants and shops and stuff on the boat. It's like a little city on a boat.
So it's still all on the boat.
Yeah.
I'm worried that
They
I
do
feel.
dock and you can go.
You
like,
said if you get the drinks package, it's all on the boat. I think if you didn't get
No.
the drinks package, you've got to
As in-
forage at sea.
as in all of your fun.
You got a bucket on a bit of rope and you get in the sea and you got to fill with the salt out and it's just a bit mad.
I mean, all of your fun. You don't really have to get off the boat then. If you want to go and explore or have fun, you can just get absolutely lathered all day. Every
My
day.
theme of cruises is, so I look out my window, at my balcony, and I go, see, And there's not a lot to see until you dock, and then you're there for like 4 hours, 5 hours, then you get back on the boat. And I think that you're not particularly seeing much. But when I went on a river cruise in China, and because we was constantly going on the river, we could just sit on our.
Oh, I love
our
river
balcony.
cruises.
No, but it wasn't like when you get. It wasn't a canal cruise in Amsterdam. This was an actual cruise going down like a river, and it wasn't a canal. It wasn't the Nene. But you could see stuff, and you could sit on your balcony, and you could constantly see. Yeah, but I mean like a big one. That's what I mean. You could see stuff constantly. I like the idea that you could sit and constantly there'd be a change of scenery, in opposed to a boat in the ocean where you go, the ocean.
Yeah, but if you're in a city and you're in a high hotel,
get smashed apparently.
Oh, I do. If you're in a hotel in the city and you're quite high up, or you.
No, but my point is that in a city.
Oh shit! Look at that, another building.
But no, but when we was
well, fuck me, it's another building.
When you're in a city, you're just sitting in your hotel.
In Amsterdam,
no, you get pissed.
In Amsterdam, we didn't go, just a city. Fair enough. Like we done stuff, didn't we?
Yeah.
But on a cruise, you can't do the equivalent to what you would do in Amsterdam on a cruise.
You can do like surfing. There's rock climbing walls.
Yeah, but
swimming pool.
To be fair, we didn't do any of that in Amsterdam. To be fair,
can go and watch ice skating theatres and everything.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not. I just don't think it's
better
the
in
same.
a city though, isn't it?
Yeah, but
like culture and shit.
But this is just a different experience. Is all
No,
I'm saying.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not
You're
disagreeing with
actually
you.
an idiot.
I'm
And like,
disagreeing with you.
you get drinks package, right? And drinks start at 10
I
a.m.
heard a lot about this drinks package.
Drinks start
So
at
that's
10.
where it's going.
They start at 10 a.m. and they finish at 2 p.m. and it's
So
free
you can't
drinks
drink
all day.
between 2 p.m. and 10 a.m.
As in 2 a.m. even.
I was just checking that. That sounds like a dodgy drinks
No,
package. Until 2. Great.
It starts at 10 a.m. It finishes at 2 a.m.
So you can't drink between. You're not allowed anything between.
No, that's when you drink. Between 10 a.m.
No,
and 2.
but between the other hours.
Oh.
You know, there's 24 hours a day. The other ones, you're not allowed to drink
You're allowed to drink, but you've got to pay for it.
water.
No, as in alcohol.
Why would I want to drink alcohol between 10 a.m. Are you drunk? Fair enough.
So what do you think about travel? Do you think?
Oh, I quite like it. Next. These questions are easy, isn't it?
Me and Dash been around Britain quite a lot over the last
Really?
18 months, and it has been quite weird. And there was a point, I don't know, when was the last big lockdown? So like February sort of time, we went down to I think we went to, so actually November we went to Southend, and we could still go inside restaurants. And then we went back in February into Southend, and it was weird that we wasn't allowed in restaurants and pubs. We had to sit outside. I found that really weird. We were supposed to be progressing, but yet
We'd gone backwards.
I don't know why they stopped the restaurants.
Yeah, and it was weird that like I was sitting on the seafront outside this really nice restaurant. It was just the wind was blowing a gale. Stuff was blowing everywhere. It was really weird that I couldn't go anywhere all weekend. And then I went to Sutton Hoo. Sutton Hoo. From the Dig with Ralph Fiennes. You seen it? They found
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes. Sorry, I said Fiennes. But they found the Viking longboat and the
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that.
so I went to Sutton Hoo, and they were like, "Oh, I've got all this cracking stuff in the museum and stuff, and you can go inside the
Cracking
house."
stuff?
Cracking.
So it's a big option.
And then they got and they got this big lookout where you can look out into into where they dug it up. Oh, lovely! But you can't do it because it's COVID, but you still pay the same amount of price and just have a little wander about the fields. And I was like,
Do you think that the only reason
Why?
they stopped being able to eat in restaurants was because they didn't want to have the debate about like what's a pub, what's a restaurant?
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say, yeah.
Because
Restaurants were fine. You got walked to your table. You sat in your own space.
Yeah.
People serving you had masks and stuff.
The pub that
I don't
we
know why
go
they
to,
stopped.
the pub that we go to a lot in our hometown, started selling sausage rolls with like free potatoes.
That's
just
what
so
I mean.
they
I
could
don't
stay
think they wanted that.
open. Yeah.
I'm annoyed that they've got rid of table service though. I like table
Yeah,
service.
yeah. But to be fair, now seeing it from the other perspective, table service is a massive pain in the arse.
But I
You're not
also
my
like
issue.
that I haven't got to sit at a table and I can just sort of stand about.
That is true.
I like that.
You
I like the atmosphere of being in a pub and standing about.
Yeah,
You do like
you
standing
can
about.
walk and see other people.
Yeah,
and-
yeah,
But
exactly. Yeah.
Did you see? You know the barriers that they put up between tables.
Yeah.
Did you know that the UN had deemed them unsafe?
Really?
Yeah, because it blocks airflow.
Hmm.
So where it might prevent you spitting all over the people next to you,
Yeah.
it's just going to block the airflow and let the COVID sit in the air.
It's really annoying as well.
Yeah, especially when I'm trying to spit on the people next to me.
Oh, it's really ruined my plans.
How's politics going to change? Do you think it's going to change? Do you think the government's going to change at all?
No, they're all still.
Might have to edit that out.
Do you think
They're still going to rape the economy and rape the poor.
Do you think there's been like a sort of a class shift? Do you think there's been
100%.
yeah, I agree with you. An economy shift, like money shift. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I was reading about how some people think that it's been like a sort of way to sort of distract us from that happening.
Conspiracies 3.
Yeah, a way to distract us from that happening. Yeah, you are right.
But no, the like, even if you come up with the atrocities that they've done over the past 18 months, like everything they've pulled, absolutely everything, it's horrific. You can't justify a government doing the things that they've done in the past 18 months and getting away with it, but they have. And it's amazing. And I can't believe there's still people out there that goes, oh, he's doing his best. No, he's not.
I mean, like,
He's doing what's best for
When
His
him.
mum died?
no.
Mum died.
Yeah,
yesterday,
today.
so
Yeah.
When
have some sensitivity.
you know they
And then
ordered.
someone went to me today. Someone went to me. Yeah, he's been through a lot. He got COVID, then his mum died. He's raped the country for 18 months. 150,000 people, maybe 100,000 mothers are dead because of him. You can. Am I going to feel bad for him? He's the scum of the earth. You vote Tory, you're the scum of the earth.
If his mum died.
I
laughing at?
I think that you know when they ordered all that PPE and it was all wrong and they had to send it back to Turkey.
Somehow. Yeah.
That's the equivalent to me getting to the airport and he goes, oh, you're supposed to print out your boarding pass. And I go, oh, it's just on my phone. He goes, sorry.
Not right.
Yeah, that's basically what he's like. They've ordered all this stuff and they get back and they go, oh, it don't fit our guidelines. Oh, why? Because like it's still an apron and a mask and a shield. And they go, sorry, mate.
No, but the best thing is, in that analogy, the ticket printer is still behind the till, but they won't give you it because you've printed it out wrong. And that's how it works, because we had the capacity to build proper masks and proper PPE, and we refused to because they wanted to pay their friends to do it abroad, which was cheaper, and import it.
I've said it before.
Scumbags!
I still don't get how that PPE was worth binning.
I know.
If we have no PPE, and that PPE is all we have, how can it be so bad that it's worth binning? How can you have an apron that offers so little protection, it's worth putting in the bin?
I'd argue
there's some care homes
won't offer a lot of protection anyway.
But like, do you know what I mean? Whatever, masks, whatever, gloves, whatever it was, how could it be that bad?
Some care homes
it's
are wearing
worth binning over having nothing at all.
Some are wearing like bin liners because they couldn't get PPE.
Yeah. So what was this
And they were
PPE like?
Apron, bin liner. Yeah.
So I googled life after COVID, and one of the articles, both these articles are terrible. This one was things that they think could improve. So it was a think tank, a lot of very, very intelligent people, and they said that the best things to come out of COVID, right? One of them was solidarity. So they said that we could be united, we could be brought together.
I completely disagree with that.
Because we've experienced sort of a common thing.
I've never known more undivided individuals
I agree with that
than
now.
during that pandemic.
But
I've never known more argumentative
I think we've
and
been incredibly
rude.
separated, especially in light of the vaccine and the vaccine passport.
Yeah.
I don't think people are united.
But I think
no.
But I agree with you now. But I think in the first lockdown one, I think there was that because people would do Zoom-ins, people would catch up people. I mean, we would do Zoom-ins with my cousins in the Isle of Man every Sunday night.
Their second point was an increased awareness of social connection. So realising your importance of the friendships you have and the social connection.
We used to do Zoom things.
I think on a small scale it's true.
Yeah. But I think
this is where in terms of Zoom in with your family and friends.
But I only think at the start.
But I think as a society, I don't think we.
No, I agree with you.
I think at the start.
It's only at the start. Because after August, we didn't do that at all in any of the other lockdowns. I've never felt more isolated than when I lived by myself in January. No one was Zooming. I couldn't go home because I lived in a zone 4.
But I think that's because
I was completely alone.
At the start, there was a Zoom and there was a clap for carers. We used to go outside and we used to.
Don't bring up.
I'm not. I know. But we used to talk to our neighbours outside. We used to I think there was the idea that everyone was doing that. And they used to have things on the BBC where they'd have concerts and gigs and stuff like that. And everyone used to watch it. And everyone used to talk about it. And then everyone used to talk about certain TV shows. And everyone was united by that. And then after that, everyone sort of went, meh. And people got to the point where people then just didn't even talk to each other at all. And it got to that point. And it got far worse. And then people started arguing about things. And I think that it got worse. So I think there was a point there where
I
people
feel
were
like-
working it, and I think people thought that we could fight it together as a unity, and I think it got worse.
What I worked out was that there was two schools of thought. There was one that went, oh, this bad thing is happening to everyone. There's going to be more empathy. There's going to be more like acceptance. We're all going through this together. But the absolute opposite happened. Everyone was just frustrated. They hated everyone outside of their house. They didn't want to leave it. Every time they went out, they were argumentative. I've never met so many rude, ruthless people than post-lockdown.
No,
They
I do agree.
are
incredibly selfish.
Yeah, I do agree. The clap thing, I know is a lot. The thing to that is that when we first started doing it, everyone down our road, done it, and it's really nice to sort of see that. But the thing that I don't really like about it is like press conferences where they go, "Hey Boris, do you think the NHS staff should get a pay rise?" And he's like, I thought we just sort of applaud him every
But
Thursday
realistically, all the people down your street who you're happy to see out clapping have voted consistently for a government that doesn't respect the NHS.
No. And do you
How
know
how do you know that my neighbours have?
Because we live in an area
Where-
that's very,
Tory.
very, very Tory.
Do you know what the amazing thing was?
My
though?
next door neighbour has never voted Tory.
Oh,
UKIP.
So I mean,
No,
we
I
don't
don't
live in
know.
an area
No,
where
no,
people
no.
vote for.
But that's
actually,
right.
about
That's
the
right.
NHS.
Actually,
They don't.
But I'm not talking about that.
UKIP care about the NHS
not
because
into
it's
that.
British.
You can't go
I'm not
out
talking
there
about-
and clap and be like, oh, all these amazing people that have shat on the National Health Service consistently for years. Oh, I f***ing love these guys. Oh my god. You right, Dave? You fucking, you
David's my next door
cheeky.
neighbour, and it'd be nice.
Oh,
if
you
we-
legend. I love it.
we'd go out there-
so
we'd go out
you
there.
fuck some nurses, didn't you?
We'd go out there on the
Oh,
Thursday
God.
night and we'd go, Dean, Dave, right? Andy, how we doing? And we'd have a little chat. Everything alright? Yes, no one got COVID. Oh, lovely. And we'd have a little
Anyone
chat.
spat on a nurse today?
That
Do you
would
know?
be a bit of a chat.
Just
We'd have a
me.
bit of a chat.
Do you
And
know
it-
what the
that
amazing
was the
thing
nice
was?
thing. That was the
Yeah,
nice
it's not
thing.
nice.
So but seeing our neighbours was the nice thing, not the clapping itself,
Oh.
but the seeing the neighbours. If right,
I'd
fine,
kick
fine.
the
Let's,
shit
let's start
out of
with- imagine if Boris went every Thursday night, pop out for just 1 minute every Thursday night and just say hello to your neighbours. We'd go, what a lovely idea.
Do you know?
I didn't clap for them once. I just voted for better pay and better treatment of them.
So did I.
In fairness,
I'm
I've never voted for Conservative ever. Famous.
I'm not saying you have.
Do you know what the
but
funny
it was
thing
nice
is?
to see my neighbours.
The funny thing was,
Sue me. I'm a polite
It's-
person.
I ain't,
What-
mate.
what-
I've
what a
never
knob.
spoken to any of my neighbours.
last year, the government were asked, can you afford a 1% pay rise for the NHS? The government exponentially said no, right? Then they went, we're going to spend £250 billion on some more Trident missiles. And then it got better, because this year they went, well, actually, we might be able to afford a 1% pay rise for the NHS. Did they do it? No, they didn't.
I think
Instead,
Instead,
a nice new tax though.
they gave them a
Lovely.
1.25% national insurance increase.
Very
So
happy.
for raping them for the past 60 years, every time they've been in government, and then raping them again during a pandemic where they were overworked and underpaid, do you know what they've given? A pay cut.
Yeah, and they said the nurses are still going. They're paying more tax, and also it doesn't make. There's not going to be more doctors, not more nurses, so they're losing money, and not getting anything out of it. So the worst thing is that they still have to pay for their car parking. Do you agree you should pay for your parking if you're a nurse?
Do I bollocks?
Do you agree you should pay for parking?
Just there's another episode. They can watch that episode.
He thinks that you should pay for parking. He thinks you should pay for parking. He thinks you should pay for parking. He thinks you should pay for parking.
No, listen. I think they should pay double.
He thinks you should pay for parking. What an absolute scumbag! You hear that? He's like Boris. He's avoiding the question. Avoiding the question. Do you think you should pay parking?
I think
Do you
they
think you
should
should pay parking. I'm above it. I'm above that. I'm above that. I'm above
I
that.
think
Yeah,
they
but
should
no,
pay
but yeah,
for
but.
parking everywhere. If they're not at the hospital, they should be. I googled life after COVID, and the other article I found, this was so interesting, this article. It was how different personality types will cope in a post-COVID world, right?
Right.
Sounds quite interesting, I thought. Do you think?
Yeah,
Like, what personality types, how are they going to cope?
He would like
What-
because he hates the NHS.
What personality
Yeah.
type am I?
You Tory
You know what I mean?
scum.
No, I like
I've
it.
got a hat that relates to you.
NHS stuff are just sort of people who pretend to care about others, but realistically they just want to sort of bring it up every 5 minutes. I'm a nurse. Alright, love, shut up. Get back to work.
Jesus.
So extroverts, right?
Oh yes, Babe Bargain.
So it said personality types, yeah? what personality? I've just told you one. What personality types was it talking about? What would you have assumed?
Extrovert, introvert.
Yeah.
That's what you would assume.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you think extroverts are going to cope in a post-COVID world?
They're not going to particularly wear masks. They're going to get back out there, go to the clubs, go to the pubs.
Introverts?
Stay inside and not want to go out.
I bet they did things like Gryffindors.
That was the whole article.
What was?
That was the whole article. That was it.
There's about two
It said
sentences long.
extroverts, they were less likely to comply with stay-at-home orders. They'll be very happy to get back to normal life, and they'll just sort of thrive. Introverts really enjoyed isolation. They really enjoyed being inside, and they're going to struggle to get back to normal life. They added one extra. They added ambiverts. You ever heard of ambiverts?
In between.
In between. Guess what they said?
They're not going to mind.
Yeah, they said that they'll be in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, they'll sort of struggle with certain bits, but they'll thrive. And that was the article. That was the whole article. That was it.
Wow.
That was all the article said.
Wow.
So that was interesting,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that's nice. A couple of weeks ago, we brought out a new series, and it was about Disney, and we were watching Disney films.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Disney fan. These two, watching the
It's
thing,
fine.
yeah, and
It's
we sort
alright.
of we watch films, we annotate them, and they're really good. It's really good episodes. I'm really proud of the series that we're starting to make. And Alfie edits.
We
the
don't know if
videos.
it's done well yet. We
No,
can't
sure,
say if it's
but I'm
done
proud of what I've seen, and Alfie edits the videos, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And hopefully, we should have the second episode out soonish. Pinocchio.
I was going about like a month after Snow White, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
So
next
soonish,
week. Yeah,
yeah.
the following Monday after this. So if you haven't seen the Snow White one, check that out. That's really, really good. Really good. You've done me proud, Alfie. You know.
Thanks.
But, yeah, it's been
I've
good.
never read it.
It's been good.
But
Right. So, what was you drinking today, then, Damon?
This monstrosity. It's called Banrock Station. It's
I'll
a
try a bit.
Merlot.
is it bad?
It's not good.
Well, so
Really?
while you're here, just check out Instagram this
I
week.
don't need that much.
Check out Instagram this week and click like on all the pictures that just says Alfie hates the NHS because it's really.
So the description.
Start.
Shut up. The description reads: a well-balanced wine with plum and berry aromas, layered with subtle oak and warm spice, perfect with slow-cooked lamb shanks or seared beef, stored in a cool dark place. It came in this stupid bottle. That's the only reason I brought it up. I'll be honest.
It doesn't taste full. Really
No,
bad.
for a red wine, it's quite atrocious. The thing that made me laugh and is probably the reason I brought it. It says bottle made from 100% recycled plastic. Glass is recycled and it's recyclable. This is PET1, so I don't think the lid is recyclable. You're an idiot.
Alfie,
Yeah, mate.
Equinox Silhouette.
Equinox Silhouette.
So we both said before we poured this, it looked like a stout. It looked like a stout can.
Who's this?
Yeah,
from?
just based off design.
Oh.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've paired the complex citrus and tropical fruit profile of the hops with a low bitterness, hazy, and super soft body. Last week we had a soft body. This week we have a super soft
Oh no, it is.
body.
This is it's got super on the front.
It's very, very soft.
Suitable for vegans. I thought it was. I hate to say this for the third week in a row. Right.
I think it's slightly above, right? I
Alright.
would say
I don't like that.
I'd say 2.75.
I'd give it a 2.
It was alright. It was fine. It was super soft.
I don't like the design on the can.
Not really much of an issue, is it?
Yeah, speaking of which, sorry for
New
my
England
voice.
IPA.
Next is Alfie.
Next, Alfie, we're doing. Is that a law part 2, isn't it?
So next week we're going to talk about the government sort of sanctioning the murder of young children.
Yeah, but I thought it was to do with more
No.
No?
It's about how the government love to kill poor, innocent children.
Thank you for watching this Guzzler video.